I'm Alan Kanerva. I'm the founder of Inspyrd Inc. and the host of the Inspyrd Talks. And I believe that trauma is an injury that can heal, and I'm an advocate, and that's my primary message. Trauma is an injury that can heal. Now, every week, I'm going to bring you real stories and real solutions from subject matter experts, life coaches, therapists, consultants, whomever. And I want you to stay engaged and maybe ask yourself, is your challenges you're facing actually a sign of weakness, or is it a doorway into healing and growth? And when you take that perspective that it's a doorway to healing and growth, everything is possible. Now, I'd like you to just take a moment. I'm always interested where people are watching from. I've had people watch from Norway, Australia, from Thailand. So I'm always interested where people see this. Now, it is a live presentation, but it does get recorded and it goes on the platforms Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you can't take 30 or 40 minutes out of your day now, it'll be posted. You can watch it later. Our mission is simple: to end the stigma around trauma and prove that trauma is an injury that can heal. And we use evidence-based, neuroscience-backed techniques to prove that. And today, I'm really excited to invite one of my close friends, a colleague, a coach, an NLP trainer onto the show, James Elliot. And James Elliot is going to join us. He's going to share his story and tell you how he helps his clients achieve their goals. And so welcome, James.
Hey, how's it going?
Really well. And just before we get started, I'd like to read James's official bio so we get off on the right foot. James is a speaker, a coach, a best-selling author. Here's his book, Unleash Your Power, and has been helping businesses succeed for 24 years. Hence a little bit of gray hair, huh, James? There you go. James helps entrepreneurs scale and build legacy, create more free time, travel, fun, and take back their health without self-doubt, overwhelm, or burnout in just 90 days. Wow, that's a claim. He's taken everything he's learned, as well as his experiences with success and failure, learning and growth, and created a program to help you make a bigger impact, scale your business while having more freedom and time and avoiding burnout and self-doubt. What a brilliant bio. So let's kick it off. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where the journey began, and just so we get your backstory.
Yeah. And like you said, it is a journey. And it's interesting. People see these gurus and wildly successful people, and there's a lot of envy and there's some self-doubt. Oh my God, how could I ever get there? Well, remember that it is a journey for all of us. And some of us are 10, 15, 20-year overnight success.
So yeah, it's 10, 15, 20-year overnight successes. I caught that.
It's the case. And instead of envying, which I don't know, is a bit of an ignorant thing to do, just let them show you it's possible. And that's these people, mentors, coaches, and these gurus, people that do really well. I just let them show me it is possible. It's proof that it's possible, that I can do it, that someone can do it. It can be done. And okay, how can I do it? How can I start without thinking, okay, I got to have 5,000 clients in my audience like Tony Robbins or something like that, and getting in my own way and getting in my head. So,
where did your own journey into this start, though, James? How did it all begin?
Well, I'm trying to think back. I guess years ago, I was a skinny kid, a nice kid, happy little guy, and so I think I unfortunately let people take advantage of me, bully me, pick on me, harm me, and I really didn't stop them or say stop, because often bullies will stop. People will stop if you tell them or make them. So a lot of really intense bullying came, and starting in grade 5, I believe it was, the end of grade 4, early grade 5. For some reason, I was picked as the sacrificial scapegoat of the schools. I was the loser. I was the one everyone made fun of and didn't want in the class for no good reason at all. Then someone started the fun rumor that I was gay, and so of course, being called fag and homo and all this stuff for years back when. I mean, now you're an asshole. You're an asshole back then too, but now you're real ass if you say that to people and people look down upon it. Back then, that was, I guess, how you made fun of people. So even messing with my own identity, am I gay? Am I not? People calling me that and finding ways to pick on me that, loser, whatever they called me for years. I'm like, oh my God, well, am I gay? Am I not? So yeah, years of intense.
Those injuries often can't be seen, can they, James?
Say again?
Those injuries often can't be seen.
No, and they follow with us for years, verbal, physical, both physical violence, verbal as well, being outcast, being a scapegoat, women not wanting to date me because of this, guys not wanting to be my friends. So it really sometimes obviously, and sometimes just like you said, it was invisible. Why it was affecting me with relationships, with friendships, with work, even with my own business. When I started it too, there was still echoes there in my own business of just self-doubt and unworthiness, not feeling good enough, feeling broken, despite wanting to help people. I put on a lot of weight to protect myself.
Wow.
Lost a lot of weight as well. And even after that, still the low confidence, even after I was sexy. and it like you said, you can't see it because people are like, oh my God, you look so great. You're fit, you're in shape. Wow. You should be, number one with the ladies or whatever. And it was not the case because like you said, Alan, you say I had that injury. And the trauma, the bullying, all this stuff. I was the eldest child. So of course I had to, lead the brothers and sisters and break my parents into all the all the teenage ship and stuff, teenage years. So it was interesting. Health issues too, which further contribute to anxiety and depression. But I know the health issues were from the bullying, from the being picked on, from the trauma.
Wow. So a connection between the mental and the physical, even at a young age.
Huge.
What was the turning point, James?
Yeah. Good question. I think the turning point was when I was about 16 and 18, wanting to lose weight, wanting to get fit, get stronger, putting on weight, putting on fat, but also being a very strong dude. Because I thought to myself, if I put on all this strength, this size, this weight, was this massive man. I used to be 236 pounds.
Wow.
And about 190 now. So definitely a little lighter. But it's like, oh, if I'm bigger and stronger, then the women will like me, then men will pick on me and bully me. And the physical bullying stopped because they probably didn't want me coming after them. But they also knew I wouldn't do anything. Verbal didn't stop. The verbal teasing, bullying didn't stop. So one night I was in a nightclub and I was on the balcony looking down in the club, and I'm like, looking at people, and I looked at the men that people revered and the women wanted to talk to and people wanted to be friends with and everyone was hanging out with. And it wasn't necessarily these big monster guys that I wanted to be with. I wanted to be like, I'm like, oh, okay, if I'm bigger, stronger. Because I was trying to compensate for my own, I guess, lack of internal strength and personal power because of this injury, this wound, this trauma. And so anyways, fast forward, I'm like, I gotta change. I'm doing the wrong thing. And so lost a ton of weight, became fitter, and started doing a lot of the mindset work as well. Because even after losing weight, I wasn't even remotely close to where I wanted to be or am now. And so after doing all the mindset work, some with you as well, Alan, learning all kinds of amazing tools, NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis, you name it, all kinds of other stuff, spiritual stuff, plant medicine, started experiencing with plant medicine as well. It's been one heck of a journey. And Rome wasn't built in a day, but there's been some amazing things that have made these massive, very quick, very impactful differences to me. And I guess here we are today as well. But yeah, it's been a journey, and looking and figuring out what works and what doesn't work, and just I guess realizing I'm not broken, and I never was broken.
None of us were.
None of us need fixing. We just need to kind of dissolve these barriers or clean the mud off our glasses, because our glasses are all muddy and it's hard to see stuff, and we mistake things for different things. We're triggered for different reasons, even though it's just the mud on our glasses, and really things are okay and we're okay. And that was one of my biggest learnings.
It's really fascinating to listen to you speak because, in your bio, you say you help people maximize their business success while maintaining their freedom without all the overwhelm.
Yeah.
And I noted, we did a pre-interview tech talk or a tech check. And right after the tech check, you say, okay, I'm going to go jump in the lake, have a quick swim, and then I'll come back. And I thought, well, there you go. Living the actual message that you send to others, right? So you're working, you're at your home office on the lake. You went for a swim this morning. Here you are on this interview. So that's brilliant. So today, who do you work with? Who are your ideal clients?
So it's a great question. I get lit up by people who want to help people, and entrepreneurs specifically. Entrepreneurs who love helping people, who want to make a difference in the world somehow, make an impact in the world somehow. So that's what light me up. But it's really entrepreneurs who, yes, they want to make more money, they want to grow their business. Maybe they're stuck, maybe they're doing okay, maybe they're doing well, and they really want to take it up at the same time as growing a business that gives them tons of work-life balance, tons of freedom, tons of time you can take back. And whether it's traveling or working abroad like me, whether it's volunteering and giving back, I love to do that too. Whether it's time with family and friends, whatever that time is, that's awesome. And then we do it at a number of really unique things to help facilitate that. But again, if you want to make more money and take back your time and have a really kick-ass fun life and make an impact, then I'm your business coach, and we do it, like I said, in a really cool, unique way.
If you could just, if you closed your eyes and did a quick scan of your 100 best clients, and by best, I mean the ones that you actually got them to where they wanted to go to achieve this vision that you're sharing with people. And you thought, okay, what are the 3 most common real world problems they faced? What might they be?
Overwhelm is definitely one of them. Overwhelm is a big one. Self-doubt is also a huge one. No matter how rich or successful someone is, even like some of these huge, wildly successful people say, I still have imposter syndrome. I still have self-doubt sometimes. So yeah, it'd be overwhelm, because when we're in overwhelm, we can't make any good decisions, and we often get burnt out. We have to stop. Yeah. We're a hamster on a wheel. We don't enjoy it. So again, the overwhelm, the self-doubt. Number 3, things that get in their way.
What are their challenges, their personal challenges?
I think it's overthinking. I may go back on this, but I think it's overthinking, which will lead to overwhelm and leads to inaction, leads to living in your head too long. And I'm a big fan of reflection time, 20, 30, 60 minutes a day to reflect, think about your thinking. What do I want? What do I not want? How do I want to grow? Who do I want to be? Who do I want my clients to be? How do I want to help them? Yeah. And that being said, just being stuck in our head every day, all day for decisions, for actions. What if this, or what if it goes wrong? What if it goes bad? And making up a crappy future that scares the pants off us and we don't take action. Well, why don't we make it up good instead and visualize and make up, because it hasn't happened yet, an awesome future. But again, I think it's that overanalyzing, being too much in the head instead of falling apart. Oh, it won't work, or my parents said this, or I got to please my culture or my religion or my society or my friends and my business people. Well, no, I should be doing this and making this money and doing this thing or being this way. Yeah. It just, overthinking and being in our head too much versus being in our heart.
So if I recap those, it's overwhelmed, some self-doubt, and then overthinking. And as you were saying that, I was reviewing in my mind the clients we've seen over, you and I have been coaches for about the same length of time, 10 or 12 years. And I reflecting our clients, and that's the same 3 symptoms I see a lot. And you and I come from the same school of mental development or personal growth. And we always go back to childhood events, right? That lead to this, to the inability to deal with the volume of the world or the insecurities, the self-doubt. And then, I personally think that getting locked into overthinking can be a reaction to adverse childhood events.
Agreed.
Where you made a wrong decision and you were chastised or punished or something. And now you think, and a couple times that you did think thoroughly, you got rewarded, and Pavlov kicked in right away, Pavlovian response. If I don't think, I got punished. If I think, so fair. I'll think, it's, you've known me long enough, so I have a pretty crazy mind, but I love Winnie the Pooh, right? And so you're walking around like Winnie the Pooh, think, and not getting much done. All right. So
it's true. It's like, okay, what are all the permutations of all the things that could go wrong? And maybe what's the chance that this could go right? And you don't know. It's like winning the lottery or putting $50 on number 25 when you're playing roulette or something. You don't know. You never know. You could have a million reasons why not to do it. But if there's one reason why it'll work or one reason to do it, that's off. That is enough. That is enough to take action. And it's unfortunate that most of us don't.
Action. I like that, right?
Yeah.
Act. I'm like a a goof about trauma. I'm always looking, because I always want to get to root cause. When I studied math, I wanted to get to first principles. And you and I study similar authors. So Gabor Mate says the root cause of all mental disease is unresolved trauma. And I would say that if people feel overwhelmed and insecure, self-doubting, I use insecure, and then overthinking, was it a significant emotional event or trauma that did that? So, but I'll leave that for a moment. So tell us about your approach to these clients. So these clients come in, they want more freedom, they want more work-life balance. And some of them are clusters, right? Some of them come in, they're pretty messed up, even though they've enjoyed corporate success or personal successes, they're challenged. So what's your approach? What's your methodology?
So there's three big pillars we work on, of course, is yes, let's make you grow your business and help you make more money, grow your business. Let's help you, of course, master the mind, because again, as we're talking about today, we are really the only things in our way. We truly are the only things. I mean, it's crazy how we as humans, we all get in our way, even if we don't admit it, can't see it, are unwilling to acknowledge it. We all get in our own way. And then, of course, it's creating freedom. The third one is, how do we create a freedom business? So looking at these three pillars, if you will.
Say that again. A freedom business.
Freedom business.
That is a brilliant reframe. Most people see work or business literally as a small prison that if they work hard enough, long enough, they can escape into this euphoric world called retirement. Which to me, me, it's like, I don't want to go there. But.
And the funny thing is, people only retire from things they don't want to do anymore. So if you love it, why would you stop at 50 or 60 or 70? What are you going to do? Sit and watch TV all day? I mean, if you want to do something else, cool, but you're not retired, do something else. But I mean, I see people slide downhill so fast because they retire and they're nothing to do. They're bored, they're depressed, they don't have the social, and they sit and watch TV and they eat junk and maybe whatever, drink or whatever, but they eat junk, or they sit and watch TV all day and they literally rot and decay, versus why would you retire? And so we've been sold a lie, I think, Alan, of people wanting us to bust our butts in the corporate world for just enough money to make us stay and maybe think about leaving, but not actually leave, or get our little raises, a little every time you really beg and kick and whine about it. But it's the case. Like, I want to climb mountains now. I want to do really amazing things in the world. And maybe I won't be able to do that, touch wood, with my knees when I'm, 80 or 90. Maybe I won't be able to climb all the mountains and do the crazy things, lassoing alligators, or, whatever it is, bungee jumping, skydiving, whatever it is. Maybe I won't be able to do that when I'm older. The whole save is yes, invest wisely, invest smartly, and live your life. It was funny. My dad used to say, James, that $1,000 trip to the Caribbean that you think it's only $1,000. Actually, it's $20,000 with compound interest. And I say, well, sure, that can be the case. But if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, or if, heaven forbid, touch wood, I get cancer tomorrow and I have 3 months or five more years to live, I'm going to really wish that I had actually, invested, gone to whatever, Thailand, gone to hike the mountains of Peru or wherever. So there's this balance anyways. And
that's a key word, balance.
Yeah, and exactly.
I'm still back on creating a freedom business.
Yeah,
I love that term.
And it's the balance. Like you said, it's balance. Like if you're playing all day long, and I think we should, in a way, play all day long, because find a business that you love, find a niche that you love that lights you up to serve, and then you are playing all day long. But there's that balance. You got to get some stuff done.
How do you move your clients? So, you're using tools, techniques. Tell us about the tools, techniques. Tell us about what your understanding of the neuroscience behind them. Why are you using? Why do they work?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, because whether it's helping someone, systemize with tech and properly systemize with tech, whether it's properly outsourcing, hiring virtual assistants, teams, AI automation, to help them scale and take back their time, creating a business that allows them the freedom, right? Whether it's systematizing, outsourcing, automating, delegating, eliminating, I have a whole thing we do. One of the biggest things, though, to your point,
that's on the structural side, though. What do you do for them in that structure?
Exactly. So there's that, which is important, and just as important, if not more important, to your point, is here. And a lot of the reasons people aren't using their teams effectively or refuse to hire or refuse to systematize, or they have systems and tech, but they're not using it properly or refuse to use it effectively. It's the mindset, it's the doubt, it's the being caught in a loop over here versus, well, we could, if you actually really embrace this tool and automate it. So, and it's usually the doubt, it's usually the trauma. There is often some self-sabotage because party wants this and party wants that, or party was afraid and party wants to help people, party wants to hide, the party wants to shout from the rooftops and make a difference. So it's very, very important too, like as you know, Alan, and like you say, to look at what are these internal conflicts. You know, part of me wants this, but part of me feels that, and part of me thinks this. That internal conflict is like a tug of war, which really is exhausting if you've ever played rope pull or a tug of war. But you don't get anywhere. You fall a foot or two on one side or the other. You really don't get anywhere. And that's often keeping people stuck in the business. You
said some words in there that resonate with my practice. You said the trauma word, of course, and then you talked about parts of a person. One part wants to go left, one part wants to go right, one part wants to go work, one part wants to go golfing. And then you said some things, and the technical term I would add to them is that they are limiting beliefs.
Fair. Yep.
Now, I believe you and I both know that limiting beliefs come from our past. And so you're working with these high performance clients to get them to a better version of them. And you're working with them structurally over here on their systems, their structural system. And then you switch hats and you go in and you do neuroscientific mental coaching. Those are that's an interesting transition, first and foremost.
And it's needed. And that's why, like a lot of other, business coaching doesn't get people to where they want, or it's only teaching them to grind away in their basement and work their lives away and make lots of money without living, loving, fun, freedom, family, friends, and then we die. It's
we die.
Versus let's work on this, and how can we get you working more effectively? How can we get your brain working more effectively, more efficiently, doing the right things versus all the busy work to maybe avoid things that are scary because of, to your point, Alan, limiting beliefs. Past trauma is not thinking we're good enough, not thinking we're worth it, not thinking it'll work, thinking we're going to be found as an imposter, or people want their money back, or everyone's going to hate us, or find out we're bad, or say we're bad. So we often limit ourselves from our greatness and taking these awesome actions. Again, it's like I said, it's neuroscience. It's limiting beliefs in our brain. And often these limiting beliefs will have your, again, neuroscience, your RAS, reticular activating system, your pay attention system, your scanning pay attention. It actually limits, like I said, the mud on the goggles, mud on the glasses. It'll limit what you see, and you'll only find problems versus opportunities, or you only see the problems with things versus, I should do retreats. Well, no, that's risky or dangerous, or what if no one comes? And so these limiting beliefs we need to address, because it'll keep you, like I said, keep you stuck, keep you small, keep you doing busy work, which keeps you busy all day long. Typically, people are actually effective and efficient and effective 3 hours a day. That's it. Typically, actually useful 3 hours a day. So if that's all you're doing, maybe let's make you more effective during those 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5, and then don't do any work the rest of the day. But it's hard, and people, air quotes, can't often because they think they should be doing, think they should be busy, think they should be working. Otherwise, that means they're this or they're that or they're otherwise. Because again, the deep-seated limiting beliefs, or the part that I should be go. I need to do, because that means I'm worthy, I'm good enough.
Yeah. Worth comes from effort, and it actually comes from results.
Exactly. And exactly your value. We're taught by parents, culture, religion, society, the corporate world, and not just corporate world, but the organizational world.
I love that you said air quotes can't, right? In conversation with Tad, and I've heard him say it publicly a couple of times too. When a person says I can't, what they're actually saying is they can do the process of not, right? And so that implies choice. And I know that you're a Jedi Knight with NLP, and I use NLP, and we have to be cautious, right? Because when we hear that nuance pop out, this belief I can't, which they say it as a belief structure, and then I hear in the back of my head that actually you're choosing to do the process of not. But we have to be really gentle in the delivery of that, because people react pretty quickly on it. So your clients come in and you're helping them restructure their business life to achieve these, what I believe are really, really great goals, and then they come up against limiting beliefs or statements about who they are, where they are in the moment.
What's possible. Yeah.
And is your experience with a lot of your clients that they have significant emotional events, sort of early in their life before 7 that contribute to this adult behavior? And are some of those significant emotional events trauma? Because I'm interested, because I don't work specifically in the business world like you do, but in the world I live in, all my clients have trauma. So I'm interested in the prevalence in the world you live in.
And it's great questions. First of all, I think we all have trauma. In fact, I know everyone has trauma, whether it's little T trauma, whether it's big T trauma. We all have it. We mostly block it out or claim, oh, it's done, or it's back then, or I've forgotten, or forgiven, or whatever. Until you've done the deeper work, it's there like a fire burning in your basement. You could ignore it. You can say, oh, I've forgiven, or I forgot, or that was a long time ago. You can, and I did this, please trust me, I did this too. And no, it is there affecting you in many ways you can't even see. So that's number one. Number two, yes, there is a lot of stuff that the mental blocks, which I think is equally as important, if not more, than the business stuff. Because when you work on the mental blocks, the business stuff is so much easier. You are going to be instantly more productive and more efficient with everything I teach you. You're instantly going to use the systems better, faster, stronger. You're not going to do all the little piddly stuff that you shouldn't be doing, or maybe shouldn't be done anyways, or at the least should be outsourced to someone else. You're not going to do that as a way to either distract yourself from negative feelings or things that bother you. And you're not going to use that to distract yourself from the bigger, more scary things that really will move the needle in the business. And you do only them, and you'll make a bigger difference in less time. But if often people are stuck doing the minutia, or caught in the minutia, or fighting all these fires, and oh my God, my day's crazy. It's a choice. You can say no to all that crap, and all that. The fires maybe are not as fiery as you think, or maybe they're not as important as maybe they're other people's fires, right?
That's brilliant. Maybe there's somebody else's fire, not yours. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. But to answer the question though about limiting beliefs, negativity, trauma, mindset, it's a key player into everyone's success or limitations. And maybe that's why some of these people are overnight successes. They've chugged along for years and years, and all of a sudden they've had this massive mental breakthrough. And gotten in their own way, and things just explode because your energy is different, your vibe is different, your confidence is different. I mean, if you're doing a webcast like this, and you're like, please buy from me, and this is my thing, and I can help you do this, and my course does this, or my mouse will help you. No one's gonna buy from you. Versus if you're like, this is the best damn mouse in the world, it's gonna help you and point up and down and all around. It does this and that and Bluetooth, and this is the best mouse. And you're confident, and not slick salesy. That's not what I mean, but you're confident in yourself and what you're selling, because people buy you. They don't buy your thing. People buy you. Then it's going to work better. And that's why sometimes there's overnight success for some people, because they change, their energy changes, their delivery, their vibe changes, and people will detect that. They'll pick up on that subconsciously, and oh, wow, I need to work with this person, versus oh, I need to stay far away from this person. And intuitively, you get that intuitive gut reaction that no, I don't think this is for me. And that's why people make excuses why they can't buy from you, why they can't do business from you if you're an entrepreneur.
So would you share some of the successes that your clients experience? Well, what are some of the benefits clients have told you they've received?
For sure. And I'm not sure I fully answered your question, by the way, there. So feel free to ask anything I didn't answer. But breakthroughs, like people, charging, personal training, not charging much money, personal training, working for a gym, and just teaching them some of these tools and giving some of these tools as well, helping them inject some coaching tools, be more of a coach and a mentor, and able to call people's BS, be caring versus nice, because people,
that's an interesting distinction, caring versus nice.
Exactly. It's a big one, huge.
Wow.
Being nice is our own fear of rejection, or fear of what will people think, or hope they like me. I don't want to piss them off, or what if they go away? And I was there. Oh my God, I was ever there. And if you don't talk to people differently than their friends or family or coworkers are going to talk to them, why would they hire you as an advisor, business owner, mentor, supplier, whatever it is? Whereas as if you, with a caring place, not as a jerk, but a caring place, can say, look, this is the way, or this is not the way, or hey, I want you to see something differently because this is actually wrong. This is the wrong way of looking at things. This is a better way of looking at things, more empowering. Whether you're selling lumber and someone's getting ripped off, or buying crappy lumber, or your lumber is better or cheaper or faster or whatever, whether you're a coach or mentor or whatever you are, when you can be raw and real with your clients, and people in general. Yes, some people will go away. I can guarantee that. The right people, and they're the wrong ones though that go away. The right people will come in and will stay and will appreciate you, buy from you, trust you, pay you more. So again, it's about helping people be caring versus nice. So again, this is what happened with this one person, personal trainer, into someone that's a total, like a body, body identity coach, if you will.
Wow.
There's been all kinds of different people, fraud investigators too. One fraud and private investigator, a huge private investigation firm that he owned. He's like, you helped me get out of my own way, James. He's like, this is amazing. And now I can lead my teams better, be more effective with my teams and staff. Effectivity went up. Clients got happier. They made more money as well. And people just having more confidence in themselves and their value, charging more, not freebie or cheapy. I'm like, this one person, she had a ton of value. And, working, had a job, didn't pay super well, but just, she wanted to help people, wanted to make a difference, and wasn't charging much, doing lots of stuff for free. And she had just a multitude of talents, an insane amount of talent and skill and wisdom, but just charging cheap prices, getting cheap clients, right? Because if people want just cheap stuff, they're often paying. So giving her the confidence to charge more, to say no, to stand up for herself, and to really be real with people and give herself permission to be real. And just her business took off. She was able to help people, more fulfilled, helping the right people who valued her as well. And then she didn't waste all her time, fighting fires and trying to pacify crappy clients. She was working with better clients that were very happy with her, that referred to her, that paid her more, and got more value from her. And she made a bigger impact as well. So again, working with that mindset, the parts, the trauma, the limiting beliefs, the self-doubt, and then that overwhelm of what do I do? How do I do this? That's one of my best ways. Let's have a simple system for you to grow. I mean, there's a saying, simplicity scales, complexity collapse. I'm bastardizing. Complexity collapses, or complexity fails.
I get the message.
Complexity fails. There we go.
Yeah.
Because we're often doing too much. People think we need to do more, and maybe there's a couple things you need to do, but more often we need to do less than doing more. Whether it's, again, outsourcing, delegating, hiring, automating, or eliminating. Some things shouldn't be done at all. And when we 80-20 rule, Pareto principle, your business, you see how much stuff is either useless or shouldn't be done by you, especially if you don't love it, especially if that's not what people pay you for.
Wow.
Get paid to do what you love all day long.
So James, I've got 20,000 odd followers on the platforms we're on. They have followers, you have followers, subscribers. So let's say your ideal client is listening to this interview right now. What's the call to action you'd like them to take away?
Good question. So I got two calls to action, actually. One, I've got a freebie for you. I'll talk about in a minute. But the big call to action, I think, would be to look at your business. And again, look at the 80-20 rule. Think, what am I doing that I love? What am I doing that I don't love? And what percentage of your day is that? Then do that again with what percentage of things am I doing that must be done by me? Like Alan, you and I filming content, this must be done by us. Posting it, editing it, reposting it, hashtagging it, that does not have to be done by us. I do not want to do that. I don't love doing it. I'm not an expert at it. So I get someone else to do that. And you can often get people to do that for $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20 an hour. And so it's just not worth. People often say to me, oh, I can't afford it. And I'm like, well, you actually can't afford not to do this for, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10, $15 an hour to hire someone to do better what you don't love. So look at your business, and what is the 20% that you should be doing all day long that you love, and that gives you 80%. And then what's 80% that gets you only little results or little income that you can offshore, outsource, delegate, automate. If you want a hand doing that, that's what I do. And we'll also work on this thing at the same time to blow through any barriers, limiting beliefs. Part of me wants this, part of me feels that, or just feeling either overwhelmed or the self-doubt that's preventing you. Cool. Number two is I have a video, a training video, 12-minute training video I want to gift to everyone. If you go to limitless-entrepreneur.com/growth. you'll be able to watch that. A 12-minute video, it's free, and it gives you 5 different principles on how to grow your business, take back your time, and have more fun in your life. So those are the 2 call to actions.
So do that again.
Yep. You got it. So it's limitless-entrepreneur.com/growth.
All right. We'll have that in the YouTube notes in all of them, that link. And how else can people get a hold of you, James?
Yeah. So limitless-entrepreneur.com is a great one as well. And you can search for me on social media. On YouTube, I'm James R for Robert Elliot, ELLIOT 99. You search me there on YouTube. You're going to find me with Elliot with 1 T, James R Elliot, ELLIOT 99. Search me on YouTube. You'll find me there as well. It's a great way to learn, to connect, to grow as well, or just limitless-entrepreneur.com. And you'll find a lot of great resources there as well.
That's amazing. We have a couple of minutes here. So if Neil, if anybody's ever watched Joe Rogan, Joe always calls to Jamie. Jamie, can you pull that up on the screen? So I have my own Jamie. His name is Neil. So Neil, are there any questions lined up in the queue for James or for me?
Good question.
There you go.
Good question. Cool. Well, since it happens to everyone and often happens fairly frequently, there's a couple things you can do. If it's a voice in your head, or they're not going to like you that much, or she's not going to like you, or this is the little in your head, you can tell it to stop it. You can tell it to shut up, or since it's just a hurt, broken part of us, you can say, "I love you. You're safe. I've got your back. What do you need? What do you need from me? What do I need to know?" Because again, it's just a hurt, broken part that's in your head trying to get your attention. That's the self-doubt, right? There's a part of us that still is, sad or broken or upset or not being seen or heard or whatever. It's trying to get your attention with the negativity. The other thing for self-doubt is write down 20, 30, 40, 50 things of why you're amazing, why you're incredible, why you're different. And then if you're an entrepreneur, write down another 20, 30, 40, 50 things of why your program, your course, your lumber, your mouse, your whatever, why it is amazing and better than anyone else. And literally you'll see that right in front of you, which is different than thinking about it, different than being in your head. Get it down on paper as well. And if you want a third thing, write down all the reasons you're doubting yourself, and either talk to a friend or a family member and write down why that's not true. Things you're doubting yourself and why that's not true, why you're awesome instead. So a quick little exercise. But if you're in the moment talking to someone, talking, it's like, stop it or be quiet, like a powerful pattern interrupt. Or, I love you. What do you need? What do you want? Let's talk. I love you. Let's talk about this later. Okay. Let's do this later. Can we do this later type thing? It's like talking with a spouse, I suppose. So, I love you. Can we do this later? Like right now, I'm in the middle of an important thing. Love you. Can we do this later? And then again, go back and be like, okay, talk to yourself. What do I need? What do I need to know? Why am I feeling like this? Why are you talking to me like this? So that's a couple quick things.
It's a great exercise. Give me some feedback on this, James. I find self-doubt a form of anxiety. So if I pull my negative past, the errors that I made in the past into the present, and that creates a chemistry and a chemical reaction to the emotions, or a chemistry and then emotions, or emotions and chemistry. And then I take it out to the future, it becomes self-doubt. And so, when you said, what do you need? Right. And I love you. I thought that was so brilliant, because some part of you, and you said it is hurt. And that part that got hurt is, I always point behind me for my past, right? I think your past should be behind you. People who have their past out in front, I think, are going to have challenges. Anyways, but yeah, your past is behind you. But you can't, if you take that past, present into the future, it's going to create self-doubt and anxiety. So I always, when a person starts that self-doubt, and I love your language, right? I love you. And I know you're hurt. I'm on task. Can I finish the task? That's brilliant. So what do you think about that as self-doubt as a form of anxiety?
It's interesting. Speaking of labels, all these labels, right? Is anxiety, I think, is really, if you actually go, it's a label. If you go down to it, it's probably just fear or sadness that's down there. Right? Probably one of those, or maybe some, but probably fear or sadness. But you're right that we're taking the past, we're dragging it out in the future. And so we're making up this future of failure, of how we suck. So I think one thing people can do is just change that movie. You just watch, instead of watching a movie of failure, okay, what, reframe that in your mind. Okay, well, what would that movie of me being successful look like? And just watch that success. Oh, it's going to go well. I'll walk up to the person and I'll talk to them, or I'll ask them for a date, or I'll tell them pitch my product, and we have a good conversation. Everything goes well. Instead of making up failure and visualizing failure each time, and to your point, dragging that past crap, past failures, past trauma, past someone said no, or they didn't like your thing, or someone didn't like your macaroni painting in grade 3, whatever that is that haunts us still. And it could be that simple, if you will, that someone didn't like your painting, or you got laughed at in front of the class, and that became a negative anchor, and you're dragging that in the future. But the anxiety is usually we're making up a crappy future. So stop it, first of all, and then how do we visualize that going well for us? And look at, okay, what am I fearful of? What am I sad of? And just be present with that, versus, I'm anxious, which is, again, a label, and that doesn't really solve anything. Well, no, I'm sad, or I'm angry, and maybe be with that and look at why and be with that, versus, we distract ourselves with drugs, booze, sex, guns, rock and roll, all the fun stuff, gambling, you name it, vaping, food, the biggest drug there is. Really being with that. So it'd be one of my tools, and that I suggest to people.
Create or connect. Did that answer your question? If you're still out there.
Great question.
Then Neil, are there other questions in there? How did your past experiences with trauma shape the way you coach today? That's amazing.
I suppose with a lot of empathy and care and understanding, I believe in two things. Yes, experience is the mother of all teachers, and training. You can not putting anyone down, but you can have the greatest experiences. But if you have no training, and it doesn't have to be a PhD in this, that. I want to be clear. I want to be very clear. But if you have no training in whatever it is, electrician, coaching, whatever it is, I think it's going to limit your success and your results with people. So past experiences have made a huge difference helping me. School of Hard Knocks, I get it. I understand it. I went through a lot of stuff in life, so I can connect and empathize and understand with a lot of people. And just the crap I went through as well. It's like, we're all dealing with stuff in life. We're all going through stuff, the crazy stuff that I do, that people do. Who knows what happened to them, right? Who knows? So making me a lot more empathetic for people in life, in my relationships with coaching, a lot more kind. And also as well, it's taught me that I'm not going to get anywhere if I'm nice versus caring versus loving. And if I don't call things out or stop things for you or for me when I see it. So being empathetic, but also not putting up with stuff, not letting stuff fly, because that would be a disservice to people I talk to, friends, family, clients. I mean, they're paying me literally to call out a lot of this stuff. So, and just the learning, just having, literally, if I wanted to be successful and get rid of this crap, having to learn, having to grow, having to learn the tools, having to do a lot of uncomfortable stuff. Because Lord knows it's a lot easier to vape your way through it and smoke your way through it and drink, drugs, food, sex, rock and roll, whatever it is, swiping, death scrolling on either Tinder or TikTok or whatever. It's a hell of a lot easier to do that. So it's helped me understand how challenging it can be, and how, sometimes it sucks. And to be empathetic with people versus, okay, go do this or do this technique, or you need to do this, you need to stop screwing around with your business. Or, to be more empathetic when I deliver things, and that way it's more effective. It's more versus, okay, don't do this, don't do this. It's a heck of a lot more effective when you do it empathetically. And hey, been there, done that. I'm not buying the BS, but I am empathetic to you. I know it sucks. I'll be there with you all the way. I'm not going anywhere. So yes, let's do this. And I'm with you all the way.
That's absolutely brilliant. Well, James, I'd like to wrap this up, put a bow on it. First, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us on this interview today. Absolutely illuminating. I love your approach that you just expressed at the end. It's kind of like Joe Dispenza meets David Goggins in a bar joke, right? Because you are an intensely caring person, but there's an edge of David Goggins in there. Say, hey, look, if you say you can't, then you must. You got to get up, Right. And I love it. That's a nice balance, because pure David Goggins isn't a lot of fun, even though I believe he's a truly caring human.
Sounds rough.
I don't think Joe Dispenza tolerates much bullshit either. So, to be honest,
right
but thank you so much for joining us here. It's really been a privilege. I'd like to just close for those of you who are listening. Trauma is not a life sentence. Trauma is an injury that can heal. And, James opened some windows, doors, illuminated us to limiting beliefs, parts of us that are in conflict. But he also shared a massive insight that all of this can heal. And when you heal, you become more effective in your relationships, in your work, in your personal health. So again, thank you for joining us here on the Inspyrd Talks. I hope to see you next week. And remember that we're live every Wednesday on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And these are posted. So if you can't watch it live at lunch, watch the recording later, and reach out to James if you want that lifestyle, that freedom, a lack of burnout, the lack of self-doubt. Thank you again.
Cheers. Pleasure.
Cheers.